I wanted to welcome you all to our last New Orleans drawing group of the 2024 session. We have had 44 guests in our program so far since I morphed it from live to Zoom. Once a month, we have a special Q&A guest who talks about their work. And Parag Borse is our 45th guest, and I'm so glad to be presenting him tonight. I'm going to speak a few minutes about him, and then I will pass it over to him. Parag is an artist from Mumbai, India. Obtaining his BFA, Master of Applied Arts, he started out as an illustrator but transitioned to be a fine artist, concentrating on soft pastels, charcoal, and oils, and focusing on portraits of Indian villagers and also household animals. Exhibiting widely in India, he shares his knowledge through his teaching via online mentoring programs and in-person workshops globally. He's a signature member of the Pastel Society of America, and his award-winning works are included in such magazines as the Artist Magazine, Splash Watercolor, Pastel Journal, International Artist, Southwest Art, and Pastel World, China. And I'm just going to leave with a quote of his. I feel the real bliss lies only in blankness, and it is only through blankness that reality can be experienced. The moment we shed our prejudices, we have direct access to reality. Above all, what matters are the joyful moments that an artist experiences through portraying the reality on his canvas. It's so beautifully said. And thank you so much for joining us. So please, I'm going to welcome you, and I'm excited to hear what you're going to share.
So, yes, I'm going to start now. First of all, just now, when Sandra introduced me to all of you, that she has read one of my quote here. And that is the very much important thing for me, the way of seeing. I always tell to my students not how to paint, but how to see that matters. And the way of seeing is the most important thing here. And that's what I am always very much focused on. Uh, I always believe I will, first of all, I will try like to clear few things about my thought process here. So shall I, Sandra? Shall I go ahead? Okay. So the first thing is that I always feel that art is an expression for me, and there are always two things which are involved in it. The very process of expression. There is there are basically two things, and one thing which is hidden, which we cannot see, which is included in the very act of expression, and that is the the part which is called as experiencing. How to experience, because the expression comes out of the experience only. Our depth of expression, our depth of experience is very much important for expressing in a good way. So the very act of experience, how we can go in that thing, and how we can improve, how we can be more sensitive to experience the shapes, the colors, and the textures. That's the thing what I feel. And yes, as Sandra has mentioned here, that the blankness. What is the blankness? I feel that blankness is nothing but the thoughtless state of mind. where the thoughts are not moving, and we are just the thoughts are seized fully, and we are just, it's like a no mind state. And when we see anything like that, then only we can pursue that thing perfectly. If we have any prejudices, any thoughts about the thing, means suppose if you are looking at a male model who is sitting in front of us, if we look at him as a male, or as an Indian or American or anything like that, then it's a false scene. What I feel is that when we look at the object just as a shape, to look at an object just as a shape, it's, I'm saying this for painting purpose, to look at the object just as a shape. Otherwise, if I have to experience the object in front of us fully, then I will not going to even see it as a shape also. Seeing purposelessly is the most important thing, what I feel, because uh, because the experience should be full. The experience should have depth, and a purposeless seeing can only give you the experience of beauty. And I feel that why I paint, I always ask these questions to myself. Why do I paint? So suppose when I have gone through I have seen a beautiful sunset, or a beautiful landscape, something like that, and when I feel fully with the beauty of it, and I don't have any words to describe it. There are cases when some people, they will take their pain and they will write a poem to express that thing, that experience. But I feel that the words can't express the thing. They fail to express the sense of beauty. And yes, the colors and brushes helps me a lot. That's why I paint. I paint to express the joy, the beauty which I experience in my daily life. I paint for that, and for doing a good expression, means every expression should have some content behind it. If the expression is coming just without any experience, then the expression will miss its soul. What I feel is that. So whenever I paint, you have seen these people in my paintings. I think I will show you some of my works, and I will go ahead. Okay. So you can see here the few thumbnails you must have seen, that these are my works. Basically, I work on these people much, very much. And you can see the portraits. So few figures are there. And these people are the village people in India. They are villagers, and this community is called a shepherd community. They are called as nomadic tribes also, so because they travel from one place to another every day, and they are not situated at a particular place. They are always traveling in search of food, in search of livelihood. So these are the nomadic tribes. And I suppose, if I have used a photo taken by any other artist, or from Google or Pinterest, then I feel that if the photo is, when we use a photo from a Google, or taken by somebody other, what happens exactly? What I feel is that the uh, the ex the experience, we miss the experience there. Okay, means when I go to these people, to their villages, I see their life from very close. I talk to them, I be with them, I sense their being, their everything which is connected with to their life. I uh, I see them very closely. I try to feel them, and after that, I do some sketches live with them, and I do take some photograph also at that time. Sometimes, if the model is okay, because these people, they are not very habitual to sit for hours for painting purpose as a model, so they can't sit for long. So if I got a model which can sit for half an hour, I do some live portraits for there also. But to find out these people, I have to travel a lot. Means India is a big country, and almost these distances are 300 miles and 400 miles. I travel to see these people, to meet these people. Their villages are very beautiful, and I go and experience them, and then only I feel that when I paint, the essence comes in it, the essence of that culture. So this is a work. This is soft pastel work, which is on Canson meat intis paper. This is my very recent one. This work, and I have used here many brands of pastels, which are, we can call it, which are the unison pastels. Then there are Mungyo pastels, and many other brands. Rembrandt is also there. I have used many combination of many brands here. So you can see the subject means the animal, the ship which she is carrying. There is the relationship between both of them. Okay, that is the main thing which I want to portray here. Her expression and the joy she is feeling while, as if she is carrying her child on her shoulders. So that is the thing which I tried to capture here. This is one of my old portrait, means it's almost um 11 years back when I have done this, and this is uh, soft pastel on paper. The paper is cancelled meat inties, and yes, here Unison and the Mongyo, both brands I have used to paint this, and you can see that the texture I have tried to maintain the texture. You can see, and the edges soft and hard edges. The half tone you can see here. The beauty of the warm and cools the warm on the cheek, and the reflected light is very much cool. Even some greens over here, and the feather. Even in hairs, you can see the cools, the blues are there while I'm doing the hairs. Because the warm light, mostly when we get a warm light, there is the cooler shadows appears most of the times. And yes, you can see very simplified and spontaneous strokes in the highlights. So these strokes are from Unison pastels. And yes, I use the empty space, the paper, the empty paper means the color of the paper. The use of that color is very much important for me. How we take the advantage of that, and I don't try to put the pastel again and means less time we have to put the pastel on the paper. That's what I think, and not too much work, but more empty space, and that creates the magic. What I feel. So I like that. This is again 11 years back, a pastel work. And yes, these are the shepherds I have told just now. And these you can see that this is very more in unison pastels, this work. And you can see the expressions and the again the relationship between both of them, the lamb and the shepherd. Again, you can see I have used the outlines here, especially. You can see here the outlines and not painted anything there. To leave it like that is important decision for me while doing this work. And the background, you can see the background, the movement in the background. I am always interested in that movement. Even the pink coming in this negative space, you can see the pink. Actually, this pink How I have added this pink is because just because that these people they the shawls they carry, the colors of the shawls are very much like the pink, the blue. Now he is wearing the blue one. Um, so the colors are like that, and I have used those colors to portray this painting to get the essence of them. You can see the edges, the way I have handled the edges here with the very few hard edges. This is again a Canson meat intis paper and Mongyo pastels. In the darks also you can see the texture, though it is very dark, but yes, uh, I try to maintain the texture of the paper. And one thing I would like to tell you that I use the textural side of the Canson meat intis, not the smooth side. I love the texture side. I know many people, many artists use the smooth side of that paper. But yes, again here this blue, the blue you can see that is creating the magic. Many times these colors which I put here, uh, you'll think that it's an imaginary color, but it's not. Actually, the things these people carry with them, the colors are in them. I know because I have seen them, I have experienced them. So while doing the painting, I use those colors in the painting so that they can be more other, more realistic, and yes, the people here, the people who see, who experience them, can relate easily, very easily with them. I don't want to miss the essence of this culture. This is again an old work, 10 years back. And you can see this is a Canson meat inties. I have leave the paper like this, not painted anything here. Only the turban part. In the many small parts of the turban you can see here. And a minimalistic approach, what we can, and yes, I am very much interested in the abstract paintings from a beginning. I do abstracts also, but yes, I am very much. People know me for the portraits and realistic work, but yes, I love to do abstracts, and you can see the background, and you can see that my interest in the abstract painting. So the space division is the most important part and the focal point, the position of the portrait. On the lower thirds, we can see that the position is exactly at the focal point of the, especially the highlight of the nose and the eyes and the mustache. That is the main thing here, I think. And the pink you can see here, the very vibrant pink. And yes, one of my I have done an exhibition here, a full solo show, and the name of the show was Vibrancy, because I feel a lot of vibrancy in the Indian culture, and especially the culture of the Maharashtra, where I stay, the state of mind, and the one more state, that is Rajasthan and Karnataka. These three states, they have very vibrant culture, and I love that culture to paint. So you can see the vibrancy I can get only with the pastels. And yes, with pastel I feel that yes, I have uh, uh, expressed what I feel. The red is, yes, their shawl color was something like this. You can see the shawl he's wearing here on his shoulder. Yes, when the light falls on the shawl, it looks like this red. And yes, the edges, you can see here the softness of the edge, and it's very few hard edges in the face, in the head area. So that is the important part. This is a portrait which has won the very um, famous Flora B. Guffini Award from the Pastel Society of America in the 2024 show. This was the work, and this is again cancer meat in this paper. And yes, I you can see the turban, the shape of the turban, which has interested me to paint this portrait. Actually, the shape of the turban, it's not a regular shape; it's a very different one, very horizontal shape. And that there was my interest actually with this portrait, because when I see that turban, actually I was thinking about the negative space at that time, how beautifully the negative space will get divided. So the gray, you can see the exactly the negative space. And yes, again the turban, the shape of, though the shape of the turban is very horizontal, I have not painted it like the fully. You can see only outlines some places, that there are only outlines here, not painted it fully, to leave it at some places, the turban area. That's important decisions. What I feel is that the minimalistic approach and the very much focused on the composition part, uh, rather than just a portrait. I am very much interested to convert it in composition always. So you can see the background, the strokes, and the way I have placed the position it. Even while doing the signature, I am very much focused on the negative space, and the composition is very much important part for me. I'm even this one. You can see the use of the gray of the paper. This is Canson meat it is again. These are the recent ones. You can see the warms and cools, though these are cools, as if one we can say these are cools in the mustache, in the background, in the very cools in the hairs part, actually in the part of hair. So though these are cools, but there is again a warm and cool feel. Means the reddish green and little bit bluish green and only grayish green, so that makes the difference. And I think the concept of warm and cool is more is a relative concept. It's not a constant concept, as we learn in the schools that red, orange and yellow, these are warms, and blue, green and the violet, these are cools. But I think this is not the thing. Means this concept is very much relative. There can be a red can be cool. A red can be cool in relation with the other red. You can see here the turban, the red in the turban and the red in the skin. Yes, the turban red is warm and the red in the skin is cool. So it depends. It's a very relative concept, and we have only one thing in our hand. There are no rules. What I feel, but only sensitivities. We have to be aware, and we have to more sensitive towards colors, shapes. This is again an award-winning work in the Pastel Society of West Coast. It's maybe at the time of COVID, it has won the bronze award. Again, you can see the turban, the edge of the turban, the way I have treated it. Not finishing it completely, but leaving it, and the paper. You can see the paper here. Means the shape. I try to merge the negative and positive together. And here, this is the very easiest way to do that. To use the edge and don't apply the color in that positive shape. And you can see the background color in the positive also. And even it gives this very sketchy feel also. So it looks very much spontaneous because of that. You can see the cools here at the beard and the mustache. In the reflected light also, there are a few cools like here, the blues, some greens are there. And yes, the dark skin which I love to paint a lot. These people, they are traveling in the harsh sunlight. India is a warm country, and when they travel in the harsh sunlight, they get the tanning, and the skin looks, and the beauty of that skin. Even their age, with the old age, with the wrinkles, I think the person become more and more like existence. It's look very graceful because of that, and that the thing which I love to paint. You can see here the eyes, the eyeballs, and the wrinkles on his head. This is the work which is, it's not a cancel paper now. This is a very local brand in Mumbai. It's not a very fair have any name, particular name for this brand, but yes, you can see the result on that paper. I experiment with many surfaces always. So this paper is a big size. Actually, this must be around 24 inches by 34 or 36 inches, like that, the size of this paper. And this is a fully done with the Mongyo pastels, and only for this red I have used the red on his her forehead, is the unison red here. And this work was selected first time, means that this is my first work which was selected by PSA for its annual show. It's in 2018, I think, and this is a big work. So you can see my approach in the background. I have just now told you that the abstracts means, what I feel is that the everything which we see is abstract, means it's not never like a man, woman, or child, anything, no, not a tree, not a mountain, but an abstract shapes only. And that's I like to paint that only. But yes, people, when the onlooker look at it, a layman sees it, it sees as a lady's figure or a musician. uh, but when they also look in the background, they will feel like, yes, something where they can't think more. Their thoughts, the process of their thoughts stops there, and because of that they enjoy it more. But for me, the lady is also an abstract, and the background is also an abstract. I only try to make the combination, the fusion of them. And that again, I will say that it's a composition for me. And the musical, she's beating the drum, and the music part of that, I try to portray that actually in this composition, with the pink, with the blues. I have tried to capture the bits of a drum. You can see the details here. See the work. I have not done too much work on anything. Very minimalistic approach here. I never want to do it like a photograph with the details, but I try to capture its simplification and its liveliness actually. This is again Canson meat inties. This is again a Canson meat inties paper. The group of ladies chatting, and you can see the way I am leaving the paper as it is without putting any color on it. And yes, the outlines are very important when I compose these subjects. I use many times the outlines. You can see the outlines here, because the outlines makes it more two-dimensional feel. Looks like more like composition because of those outlines. And yes, the interlocking the forms, the shapes, I use them a lot. This is again a different paper. It's again a local brand. It's not a very famous brand, but it's Z Black. The paper's black is too good, and it's a flat surface. Even not a small texture on this paper. And I have used this for pastels. Many artists ask how the pastels, it holds the pastel, what is the magic? But I will tell you that yes, my works on this paper are almost 20 or 22 years back. They are still intact, very much in good condition. There is no nothing as a means, they are really good till now after 20 years also. So I feel that this is a successful experiment. And yes, the result I am getting on this paper, you can see the bulls, the strokes in the bull's head, the because of the flat surface I have got this. Even when I use the sanded paper, many times I feel the same, something like that. People may feel that it's very much like sanded paper, but no, it's not sanded, it's a very flat surface. And you can see the pastel I have applied here are not so thick, they are very much transparent. So this is a very different technique of using this pastel. It's not similar to the canson paper when I do works on canson papers. So that is a very different technique, and this technique is fully different to use this paper. And yes, again you can see that the dark areas, the shadow areas I have painted here. Um, with the help of only one pastel, you can create so many values of one pastels. Just applying the pressure more or less, you can get the different values. Here you can see this value. If I press the pastel more in this area, it will look more lighter. The value will go in the high key, in the middle key or high key. But I have put it just means the black of the paper, it helps us to get the value if we put the pastel very lightly on the, you can see here. Even I have not painted everything. You can see the horns, I have not painted them. But yes, the onlooker will feel that there is a horn. Even these feathers, I have not painted them fully, the feathers also. Just so, just putting the lighter areas, some midtones, and just that's it. I have not painted everything here. So omitting is the most important thing what I feel in the painting. Not adding anything, but the omitting part, what we are going to omit. So that is the, here is again one with the bull. This is fully in Indian culture. It's from south of the India, southern India. So you can see the same paper I have used here. Yeah, this is again the same paper. These are the big size works. But yes, I love the relationship between man and animals. So I do paint them a lot. Even the people I choose, they are not very much cultured or very much civilized. The people I choose are villagers, and they are very much direct. Means they don't have that much the, what we can see, the civilized person, which is a very suppressed mind person. Means we can't express our whatever we feel easily. But these people, they express everything directly. They don't have any filters while talking or while doing anything. Very very clear people. So I love their spontaneity and the way they are. I see the grace in their being. I love to paint them. You can see the texture. The texture is the most beautiful part, means which I get here on that paper. This is again a different brand. It's not a very famous brand, but it's so in some art fair or somewhere I have taken this paper, bought this paper, and I do experiment with lot of surfaces. So this is the result of that. I never use this light kind of paper actually. The paper which has a lighter value. I use paper which has a middle tone or a dark tone, means middle key or in the dark low key. But I never use the paper from the high keys. So this is a different experiment. This is, you can see again the middle key paper, cancel meat indeeds, and the background. You can see the abstract, the full, uh, the my wish to make it a composition. You can feel in the abstract. This is a Rajasthani guy. You can see his the beauty of their mustache and beard and their skin. You can see the edges, very soft edges I have entered here. The blues, the reflected light, because of the background, it merges with the background. This is again a Cancer meat interior. It's very vibrant. The blues and the reds in the background. Uh, it's very much these colors you can see in there, these people, because whenever there are many festivals here, at the festival, which is one famous festival is called as Holy Festival, and at the time of that Holy Festival, people use these colors to everywhere. Means you can see them. Uh, People are colored with those colors. People throw them in the air, and you will feel that the vibrancy of that festival in it. So again, the black paper and uh, the same brand, the local brand I had told you. Just look at it. This is also an award-winning work of the Southwest Art Magazine Award. For this work I have won in the maybe 2018. You can see the and the sign, the color of the sign signature. That is, yes. What's the time? Yeah, we have less time now. Uh, Sandra, shall I go ahead or stop showing the paintings?
I am enjoying this. I'm enjoying each one.
We have only 20 minutes left, I think.
Well,
So,
if it's okay, we can go over the time a little bit. I
okay.
I'm learning a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, Sandra. So I will show some of the oils also again, because this is the oil one. You can see this is a big size oil. This is very soft handling and not a very thick paints here. I have used very softly. I have done this work. It's a very different approach. Using the colors more transparent, not opaque. I have tried in this work. Basically, I don't like work like this, but I do experiment with lots of surfaces, with lots of different techniques, with the thin colors, with the thick colors, many different styles I do use. But yes, my liking is towards like this. You can see here. This is actually my liking, the application. This is again a guy from Holy Festival. During the festival, the people they decorate themselves like this. The villagers. I have to travel a lot for this to get these subjects to meet these people. This is again a very different style of handling the colors. With the application, you can see here more transparent. And yes, I am always seeking for the realistic colors. I feel that the colors everyone sees is different. Means we can't see same colors. Means every person's perception to color is different. But yes, the values remains the same. Means the value structure, the darkness and the lightness, that is the same thing. Um, but yes, I do try to get to. It should feel very real. That's the thing which I enjoy. uh, uh, yes, I can. I have done many. You just have seen this. So the background, it's a Photoshop background I have used here. I have even done some Photoshop color changes also. But what my interest is, I like this to paint it more realistic. And the realistic colors, actually, what I feel is that they are so rich, and uh, it helps me to learn a lot. Means I have to search on my palette. I have to mix many colors, and uh, it's a searching always for me, a seeking always, and that's I enjoy a lot to get the real colors. Here is again an oil. You can see this is a more thick application here. But yes, I'm not always interested in many details. I try to avoid many details. This is a linen canvas. I use some cotton canvases, acrylic prime cotton canvases, sometimes linen. So this is on linen, and I do use the fan brush a lot to paint. I love to use fan brush and palette knife. This is a big size work. This almost 7 feet, and the feel is very different when you see it in a big size. But yes, the application here, more palette knife and thick application you can see here. And because of the real colors which I told you just now, the I always search for the real colors, and I love to paint them. My uh, my favorite artists are like John Sargent, Claude Monet, Sorolla. These are my favorites. This is the full work. This is the work, the full work, which I have shown you just a thumbnail of it. You can see the background, especially the way I have handled, because the negative space is the most important thing for me. Though the positive interests you a lot, but the beauty of the positive depends on the negative. So everything is related, nothing is separate. So this is what I love to paint. You can see more abstract here also. This is again a big size work. This is a 4 feet in the height and 3 feet width. Oil on canvas, linen canvas. Here the approach is a little different from the previous one. Yeah, this is uh, from my 2017 show. This is oil on linen. You can see here the application, which is the most important part. The application of what I feel about the application should be, it should show the isness, the spontaneity. While if it's similar like when we talk, when the talk is very much planned, it will look crafted. If it is we have done a by heart some speech, it again it will look very crafted. But if we are not done any planning, and it's not, we are not copying anything, then at that time we become more spontaneous, and that spontaneous matters for me a lot. So it should be spontaneous. It should be like very with the very easiness, without effortless. We can see it should be effortless, the application. And I do like the children's work also. The way children paints, I like their brushing and their lines, the way they are doing the lines. And yes, the painting should look existential. That's the thing. What I am interested, that it should not look. It should not look created by someone. It should like it has happened. Even I can't paint this again. So that's the thing. What matter for me? It should be uh, very much existential. You can see the very heavy brush strokes and the palette knives. In the reflection also here, the drops of the water, the you can see the strokes here. There is too so many paintings we can talk about, but I would like to show you this one also. Look at this. So a simple subject from my village. There are so many rivers here, in so many mountains. Surround my village is surrounded by so many mountains, and you can see the people. They are fishing actually, the children. And I have taken this photograph actually, that when they are fishing. But yes, the beauty of the warm and cool, you can see here the more grays. I do feel that there are three things. It's tint, tones, and shades. But I feel that there are many tones than tints and shades. There are many tones I always see come across, and the colors are more gray. Means there is always gray in it. The colors are uh, when we talk about nature, painting the nature, the more grays we get there. You can see here the gray plus red, gray plus yellow, gray plus blue. uh, you can see. And yes, the warm and cool in the grays, the stones. This is also from it's a festival time when the people bath in the river. Uh, on the it's a prayer kind of thing, and they bath in the river uh, for that, on the particular occasion. That's very important. And I got this photograph at that time. And yes, I have edited it in the Photoshop. And yes, I do procreate. I use Procreate also to for editing the photo images. And you can see here the difference between the, look at the beauty of the real colors. The skin tone of the lady, which is exactly near the water, and the skin tone of the lady which is holding the pot in her hand, and the skin tone of the lady which is standing above her. You can see the difference, the beauty of the colors. It's very thick application, very bold and thick application here. The colors I have put. I think, Sandra, I have to stop here, and I will show you some. I will show you a demonstration quickly. Yeah. So this is a photograph, and I am going to, and this background you must be seeing in the photograph. The background I have done it in Procreate on iPad. I have used an image of my abstract painting for that, for creating this image. I have used here the Canson meat intis paper and the willow charcoal stick. Yes, I will forward it a bit. You can see that first I have done the outline of the outer shape, and very light handedly using the charcoal stick, and not doing very uh, dark strokes on the paper, but very light handedly. And first the outer shape, the bigger shape to smaller shape is my approach always. I'm just darkening the edges now, means the drawing. It's not that I'm drawing it now, but previously I have done one. In the first step, I had done the outer shape. I try to capture the outer shape with very light line, and after that, just some details. Now, after that, I have used the kneadable eraser to uh, to take off the charcoal, because I don't want more charcoal on the paper. These are the pastels. The Mungyo soft pastels, semi-hard pastels are there. You can see the shades which I use for creating the portrait. And these are the 64 shades pastels. First, I try to start with the dark, with the black, semi-hard pastel. With the shadow areas, try to capture all the shadows, leaving the light area empty, especially the middle and the low key. I try to capture it in the first place with the black. Then I smudge it with my fingers. I don't want the hard lines, so from at few places I smudge it with my thumb. Now more dark. Now I have introduced the red here. You can see the red. I'm just mixing with the black. Now the few lighter means the middle tones. You can see the half tone now I have just put on the forehead. These are the Mongyo 90 shades pastel box, and I use only that box for this demonstration for convenience of the students. Using many brands while the workshop or in the demonstration, it the student gets confused because of that. So I have the brand which is available in India. This work I have done in the uh, workshop in India. So this brand is very much available here easily. So I have used this brand here. But I use many brands, not only this. You can see the half tones. Just I have put the more saturated areas of the portrait or the half tone, the area before the shadow. That's that I have just painted here. This is again I am trying to put the half tone. You can see that the area before the shadow is more saturated. More blues, violets in the skin because this is a dark skin and the reflected light it looks more cooler. And yes, the direct light areas has more warmth in it, and the powder which he put on is the turmeric. Actually, it is a turmeric they put on their forehead. The highlights Actually, the highlights is the thing which is making it more three-dimensional to feel it like three-dimensional. You can see the texture of the paper, of the area of mustaches. This is a semi-hard pastel, so I can get a good edges here, very sharp edges. And yes, I can blend them anytime. I don't use fixative in between because I want uh, to be free to merge the edge anytime, to make the edge soft anytime. If I do use fixative on it, then yes, it's I can't merge the edge then. So the using the fixative, I use it in the very end of the process after completing the painting. You can see the nose, the three-dimensional nose. Actually, that is the most important part in the portrait. The nose, the reflected light of the bottom of the nose, and the half tone highlight and the shadow area. That creates the magic actually there. Because of that, it look the three-dimensional. And yes, the nose becomes the most important thing here, and the shadows. I'm adding few cools between in between. You have seen the green. The hard edges means the thing which are closer to us, more closer to us, which has less distance from the artist, from the viewer. Uh, they are soft, they are hard edges, and the things which has were long, which has more distance from the viewer, they had soft edges. So this the mustache and the beard, I want them to come ahead, and that's why I'm putting more hard edges here. But yes, the warms and cools, you can see here the cool and warm, and that's the thing which a viewer enjoys. Because of the soft edges, the hard edges looks beautiful. If every edge, if all edges are hard, it will not going to look beautiful. The combination is very much important, what I feel. You can see as the red of the turban comes, how different it looks after that. Yes, and that's it. Okay.
Wow.
Thank you, Sandra.
You are a master of color and you are not afraid of it. And it is so powerful. As you said, if everything was colorful, then nothing would stand out. But you have that contrast of lack of color or dark and vibrant and bright. It's um,
Can't hear you, Sandra. You're, yeah, it's muted. You're on mute. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
you missed all the good things I said about you. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
So I was basically amazed at the color and the contrast of the vibrancy and the parts that weren't vibrant and the areas that were so abstract. And I understand you were saying everything you see through of your eyes as abstract shapes, but the looser abstracts in the background are a great foil to the tighter expressions of that turn out to be features in the people.
Yeah. Thank you, Sandra. If
So
you
there,
any, yeah, you can ask the questions,
yeah,
whatever
so
you.
there are a few questions. Darlene Bigastohini asked, with the paintings of people in the water, are you working from life sketches or photographs? Your water is extraordinary.
Yeah, I do work on the from the live sketches also, but photographs, yes, 90% cases I use photographs. Very few times I use the live sketches. And what is the another question? Taking
It,
screenshot.
there's another question. Is the vibrant color on some faces, is
Yeah.
that customarily applied by the individuals on a regular basis or more in a celebration mode?
Yeah, most of the time when there is a celebration mood, they applies those colors on their faces. But few people they always carry that. They always do that. There are few peoples like that. How do you decide what colors
Oh,
to put in your abstract background as vibrant as they are? Yeah, that's really a tough thing. Means how do you decide that colors to put in the abstract background? Actually, when I go to these places, meet these people, I see their jewelry, their costumes, their homes. At that time, actually, I get all these ideas when I travel. I go to them, I speak to them, and I see those colors there. So they are back of the mind always with me. And when I do come to the studio and use the photographs, yes, while doing the abstract, I take that inspiration. I know that those colors are there, so I can use them as a in the background. And the one more thing I would like to tell you that is that the yes, the composition is matters a lot. Means when I am using the in the portrait, there are many warmths are there. Suppose more warmths. So yes, I will use few cools there in the background. I don't going to use even if I want the background to stand out, I will do it more vibrant, more colorful or saturated. But if I wish that I want the viewer to stuck to the portrait only, then I will mute the background. I will do it dark with less colors. So it depends what I want to speak through the painting. That's the thing. And with the paintings of people in the water, are you working from live sketch or photography? Yes, yes, many times photographs, but yes, I do observe the water and the people a lot. I go stand there and go on watching for hours. I love that because I think the seeing matters. The way we see, the way we experience that thing, that matters. That experience comes in our painting. When we paint through photographs, the thing which we have seen, we have experienced, it will show in your painting. One can see it in your painting, the soul actually. So I do observe a lot without doing anything. Just go on observing them. Do you fix your pastels during the process or when completing? Yes, I have already given the answer. I do it at the last of the painting, not in the process. Are you oil painting on the primer? No, few oil paintings. The lady, one lady portrait you must have seen in the oil. That is all a primer. But others, I have taken a lot of time, 15 days, 10 days time to complete the painting. There are very few all primer oil works I have done. Not all. Any other? Yes,
Any
Sandra?
other last minute questions before we wrap up? Well, I just want to say how excited we are to have had you come visit us and talk and share. And also the demo also helped explain what you were doing. And it's just amazing. It's kind of magical how it just comes out as features of a person's face with all the other abstract shapes. I was yeah, very, very just happy and surprised, and it was great to hear you explain. And I want to thank you so much for coming all the way, Zooming from India, and to get a chance to meet you, and to thank Jimmy Wright for introducing you to us.
Even I am grateful to Jimmy a lot for introducing me to you, all of you. It's a pleasure meeting you, all of you, and once again, Carol, once again to you also. So it's really a pleasure. I really enjoyed this session, and I will like to request all of you, please, the video if you on your videos. Uh, I would like to see you because it's the distance is so much, India and USA, and I will like to see you if we meet in future, so I can recognize you if you can on your videos, everyone. Thank
Well,
you.
we will
Yeah.
try. Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
we are getting to the end of our day, and you're in the beginning of your day. So have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you so much. It was great.
Thank you. Very nice.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
nice.
you.
Thank you.
Inspiring.
Bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Thank you
much.
so much. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. And
Thank-
we will have the next 2 weeks. We will not have any sessions, and we resume on January 2nd. So everybody have a good holiday.
You too.
And
Thank
talk
you.
to
You too.
everybody later.
You too.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Happy
Thanks,
holidays.
Sandra.
Thank you
Yeah.
again.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Okay.
Parag,
Bye-bye.
that was absolutely wonderful.
See
Thank
you
you.
next year.
Yeah, I know it's amazing.
Yes, and I would like to tell all of you that I have my online yearly course, which I taught a portrait landscape in it. It's an online course. Many students from US and Singapore and all over the world, they have joined it. And next year, I'm having my pastel workshop in the Dakota Pastel in the
Oh.
September. So please, if you are interested, please join me there for that workshop. Yeah, and Sandra, thank you so much for introducing me to all of the amazing artists. I have seen their drawings when you are posing the model. That's a great thing, yeah? Really great thing. And what a beautiful model it is. And they are done really good job. It's a pleasure. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Well,
Thank
thank you. And
you.
hopefully we'll see you not just on Zoom, but in person at
Yeah.
one place or another.